It can cost at least as much as a Lamborghini Aventador. It's as long as 2 Ford Fiestas. And oh yeah, it can stop high-powered rifle rounds and grenades. This is the INKAS Huron. Fire in the hole! So this Huron armored personnel carrier is based on a Kenworth truck, and thanks to that it gets a beefy 8.3 liter diesel hooked up to a 10-speed transmission. Now, to make sure you can get where you're going and still be running, there's a 75-gallon fuel tank, and out back you can fit up to 16 passengers. Sitting in the Huron, you just can't help but notice that everything is so overbuilt and it makes you feel so safe. I mean, the doors are just so thick. You can see both panes of glass and there isn't that much glass. Everything's covered in this kind of spray-in bedliner type material to protect all the metals. You get these massive steel door locks, and just in case you want to fight back, you even get a little gun porthole in your driver's side door, and there's 6 down the side. The Huron's lightweight armor plating has a B6 ballistics rating, which means it can protect you from rounds from high-powered rifles like an AK-47 or from the blast of 2 DM-51 German hand grenades. If you have the cash, you can even order it with a roof-mounted gun turret. The Huron is built in Toronto, Canada, but none of these machines stay in that friendly nation. The first 4 of these beasts was ordered by the National Police of Colombia, while INKAS also has business locations in Libya, Kenya, Russia, and other countries with reputations for being rough places to live. And just so you know, rappers and celebrities need not apply because the INKAS Huron is only sold through government tenders or to law enforcement agencies. Well, first of all, driving the Huron around the friendly streets of suburbia is not what this thing is designed for. These cages in front of your eyes just make it so hard to see. There's barely any sight lines. The mirrors work okay, but still, it's hard to drive this friggin' thing. But that doesn't really matter because they're there to save your life, and when you're actually in a war zone, that's what counts. Now, besides the sight lines being kind of bad, it pretty much just drives like a big old Kenworth truck. Now, I have a background in commercial trucking and I used to run deliveries, so I've driven a lot of trucks just like this. Now, this Huron feels maybe a little bit stiffer than some of those big trucks, but I mean, it has to support so much payload that I'm sure the suspension is absolutely maxed out. Now, this model we're driving here today is maybe around 7 tons. And you know what? It actually gets moving pretty good. The diesel gets her up to speed. It tops out around 60, 70 miles an hour, but I can't imagine you'd ever really need more speed than that. In fact, going 70 in this thing would probably be pretty insane. So like anything, I'm actually starting to get used to this Huron now, and at just about 27 feet, it actually feels pretty portable. It feels like you can take corners not too wide, you can kind of cut them sharp. And again, in a situation where you need that maneuverability, this thing is not too bad. The Huron is built to protect its occupants, but it's also built to protect itself to make sure it can keep on running. Now, the engine has special armor plating around it, all the internals underneath are plated and covered, and the tires can reinflate themselves and their run flats. Now, I have no idea what a real war zone is like, but I can imagine that you don't care about your blind spots or what's going on around you in traffic. All you care about is what is directly in front of you and making sure that you can get through it. Now, on this Huron model, we have a custom-made plow, which I don't think is for snow removal, and it makes you feel as though you could get through anything. Now, out here today, we had a blast driving this Huron, but the situations that it is meant to drive straight into are anything but fun. Yet that is reality, and serious situations call for serious hardware. If the bullets did start flying, I wouldn't want to be anywhere but in the INKAS Huron.